Take a deep breath. And just really bring ourselves to this moment. It's not how perfectly we do that. It's that we're here, we're observing, we're guiding with compassion. We're just breathing. Feel the breath throughout the body. Let it lengthen you, yet not so much that you don't feel like you are still able to press into the earth. We have an energy exchange with our palms open because our right extends energy and our left receives it. Feel the muscles on your face relax. Feel your legs relax. Let the arms slide down by your side. With a nice good deep breath, lift the shoulders straight up to the earlobes, feeling the sides lengthen, and then let just the shoulders drop back down. And then again, do it straight up. Nice big inhale, feel the lift, and then just relaxing the shoulders down. When you're ready, let's take those legs out. Kick them out in front of you, give them a gentle little shake, loosen them up a touch. And then from there, just bring them just a touch closer together. Get a little bit of a flex out of those feet. And as you're ready, place the hands down. We're just going to do more of a motion than a hold. So with the belly drawn in, of course, we're sitting up nice and tall. Lengthen just a touch with the chest. And then exhale. Start to slide along those legs with your hands, reaching forward. Relax, and then reach out of the crown of your head so you can feel the back of your neck and a little bit of length. Just a touch of our thighs rolling inward. Inhale. Use the hands. Come on. Shoulders back and down. One more time. Just a little lift of the sternum and shift forward. It's great to reach. Just make sure then you relax. Just a light connection of our thighs together. Our belly just slightly tucked. And then it helps to support us as we come back up. Roll the shoulders back again. And now we're going to go into cradle pose. So what you're going to do is lean back and we'll bring our right leg up to start. Give a good little shake. Loosen through the hip. So it's basically like a seated pigeon almost. So what you're going to do is bring that foot up onto the opposite knee to start. And I would suggest going just above the knee and just past your ankle so you're not putting either of the weight on that space. Then we're going to sit up nice and tall again, belly goes in. So we're not going to necessarily push the knee down, we're just going to lean forward. Just a touch with the sternum there, that way then our back attempts to stay flat. And again, we'll hopefully open within that hip area. Deep breath. If it's aggravating that supported leg, you can always scoot your block under there or even just your hand. Because we're just going to be here one more breath. So as always, we want to try to keep that flat back. So lifting up from our sternum, rise up, roll the shoulders. Bring that leg back down, give it a good little shake. Now there's two ways to hold your leg, and it's going to depend which one feels easiest or comfortable for you. So what we're going to attempt to do is drop that knee, and grab that foot. We're going to see about bringing it to the opposite elbow. So see if you can't lift your right foot up and bring it into the curve of the elbow there, and bring your hand around. Now, if this is easy, let's say it goes in that elbow, no problem, it sits there for you. Bring your other arm around, and it's like you're hugging. Looks like you're holding a baby. That's where the name came from. If it gets there, but it hurts, go back to your hand. Relax your shoulders. Take your right hand under your leg so you can almost help to kind of cup it there and hold there. So now whichever variation you're working with, whether you're here or whether that foot slid in and you were able to kind of wrap around the leg, it makes zero difference. Make sure that you're facing towards the front of the room still. And we're going to see, can we bring that shin nice and flat in front of us? Now bring the mid of your back through your heart forward. There it is. So it's like you're holding on to a baby, right? It looks like you're cradling a baby. Or you're here, you're holding on to the baby. Let's give it a little sway. Hold that belly button in. You're finding it pulls from your back. It's just all connected. Pulling from that center. Lengthening up through the back. Really trying to get it to work through that piriformis area. Let's take one more deep breath. Now nice and slow, lean forward. Bring your right arm around so you can help bring that leg back down. Then when you're ready, place it down in front. Give that leg a nice gentle shake out again. Good breath. Just observe, what are we feeling here? Now we're going to go into this opened stretch before we head to the other side. So we're going to take our right foot, which is still up. We're going to turn that leg back and attempt to open up our knees as we bring that foot down. Now, if you have any knee issues, keep your foot further forward, or your knee rather, further forward, so there isn't as much pressure there into the knee. So of course, that minor adjustment is just what's working for you. Now, if you're feeling resistance up in your hip, that's part of this stretch here. So from there, we're going to notice, what is our foot doing? So we're going to bring it back up nice and straight and really trying to ground down through our thigh. Then let's see, can we bring that hip as down as far as it'll allow us to go and kind of bringing our ribs in to match that. Now relax your shoulders. Let's take one more breath and just a light knit of our rib cage together here. And we're going to add a nice little side stretch, and it's going to feel really good for this hip. So we're going to turn our torso just a little bit towards that knee. Then bring your hand around. So bring your left hand over towards that knee. And again, we're not going to worry about holding on to it. We're just going to let it guide us from here so that we kind of lift the chest, lift that right arm up, take a look. So our sides rolls through to our fingers, and then nice and slow as you start to lean over, reaching, opening up, stretching towards that foot. Now let's add a little lift to that shoulder. So we're going to look towards the ceiling. Breathe, maybe tucking your shoulder on the inside a little more. Bring your top arm up first, and then use that push through. And just again, focus on trying to bring that hip down into the mat. We're going to turn the torso back to the center. Nice, good breath. Relax the shoulders. Let's do it again. Reach over. Reaching towards the leg. Again, let it slide away. Let's reach up. Then start to lean over. Keep that belly nice and tucked. Reaching through, looking towards the ceiling. Deep breath. Arm first. Keep that shoulder relaxed. And drop up. Once you're there, again, we'll just help that leg. So lean over to the side. Bring it around towards the front. And shake that out. Let it go. And then let's do the other side. So when you're ready, stretching that leg out. Take your time. Notice, observe. Find your center. Sitting up nice and tall, just a little bit extra squeeze at our belly. Let's get that left side up. So make sure your hip didn't go back when you brought that leg up, so we stayed nice and centered. Let's swing it out. Just loosen up a touch. And then from here, shift forward. So get up onto those sitting bones as much as you're able. When you're ready, drop your knee to the side so you can reach down to grab a hold. So push through that supported leg just to help keep you up there. And then let's try which variation is going to work. Up. So when I come to that elbow, if it's putting all this pressure through that shoulder, then why not go to the hand? Again, whether you're holding the hand, you might go under. Just makes it easier to hold the leg. Or if it tucks in, we go around the outside. So whatever it is, try to get the shin as level as you're able. Don't force your knee. Down just a touch, just like our pigeon. Bring those hips forward. Bring your chest forward. Try to relax those shoulders. Deep breath. Let's cradle, rock the baby, and breathe. Get those shoulders back just a little bit. This is an intense stretch. Being patient here. Let the breath maybe match the intensity you're taking your pose today. One more. And then lean forward and just take your time to help that leg come back down. Sit up nice and tall. Feel the relax of the shoulders. When you're ready, bring that foot back onto your mat. Maybe a little lean back just to loosen up again. And one more time, when you're ready, you're just going to take that leg and we're going to bring it back. So open up those knees as we drop it in behind us and bring it there. And again, if you can, create as much space between your knees as possible. Our knees get to win the argument, so don't force the knees there. Checking what that foot's doing. Draw that leg back up. Again, it's just movement inside of our hips. How do we connect to the mat on this side? It's common for it to be different. So we just want to take a moment, feel it, relax. Trying to align, bringing that weight in. Let's bring the sternum over towards our knee and our hand. Then from there, deep breath, stretching up. But as much as we're lengthening, right, we're keeping that hip still grounding into the mat. Then it starts to open. So as we come over, maybe that arm comes down. And we stretch. Try to see about bringing that right shoulder under as you're looking up. Lengthen, deep breath. With that, we want to go with the arm first. Make sure the shoulder's coming down from the ears. Then pull. Come back to your center. Try to feel that center line. Deep breath, a little length. Let's try it again. And across. Remember, bring the whole chest over, not just the shoulder. So you're going to open up. Deep breath. Reach. And slow. Little tuck. Again, up. Squeeze into that side. Come back to your center. Once you're there, just like before, we'll lean over. Just bring that leg back around. Once you're there, shake that out. Just noticing. Let's bring the other leg up. Notice that difference there. Let's take that moment. Lean back a little bit, and the legs shift. Feel the freedom you've created in your back, the hips. From here, let's get a couple of seated cats and cows. So just bring your feet comfortable in front, and then pushing up nice and high onto your sitting bones, grab at your shins. Let the shoulders relax, bringing our belly in. We'll sit up tall. And then as you go to exhale, kind of lift up on your heels, and then roll down, bringing that lower belly in, rounding out the back, maybe even letting the shoulders kind of shrug to the hands, and then lifting up. Push up onto the sitting bones, open the knees, push the chest forward. You can do a little squeeze of your shoulders, but don't go too crazy. And then shift back and drop. We're gonna add a little more this time. So as we come forward and open, reach forward. Stretch out of your back as you lengthen. And then again, tuck the belly, knees come up. Grab the shoulders, or the legs rather, stretch the shoulders, drawing down. And one more time, up, reaching through. And draw it in and melting back again. The next time that you shift out, let's just pause there. And again, just noticing that freedom. When you're ready, we're going to sweep our legs around. Let's get to our table position. So we start with the most important, the spreading out through the fingers and the elbows turned in. Then we check knees or hip distance. Feet are pressing down nice and flat behind us. Let's just add a little wag of those hips, a little side to side. We'll push. If you want more, look over your opposite shoulder back at your feet as you push your hips out. And again, just gets a little more through that gluteus minimus up the side of the tush. Now, as you feel a little more freedom there, let's go back to the center. And you maybe notice your wrists, because that is a bit of a stretch for them too. Let's just have a little bit of circle there. Just shifting your weight just ever so slightly around. Tuck your belly. You don't have to be pushing into your hands. Let's go the other way. Now, as you get back to the center, just give the hands a little shake out the wrist there. Relax, shake out the other ones. Spread those fingers good and wide. Give them that support. And then again, make sure that those shoulders are right above those wrists. We want to pull the belly in so that we can relax our shoulders down. From there, our belly tucked. Let's bring our left foot onto the mat behind us. Tuck your belly and your hip bones. So feeling those hips come in. So we get a nice little scoop of our tailbone. When you're ready, relax. Now look, are the elbows still inwards? Let's lift that leg straight up behind us. Bringing your opposite hand around onto your lower back, try to find flat right here. From that flat, so you notice if you kind of cage your back, you might have a nice little pocket for that arm. So we're going to tuck the ribs to the tailbone and then bring that arm forward. Palm faces in. Now, as that arm came forward, we kept the shoulder away from the ear. So even though we're trying to find space, we're finding it from the side instead of from the shoulder. So pull your belly, your ribs, kind of knitting them together in that center. From that press of the earth away, can we feel extension coming from our body there? And then nice and slow, let it lower. As you draw the hand and the knee down, just give yourself a moment, a little sway out. And let's go over to the other side. So check the hands, the elbows, the right leg goes back. Bring your left hand up onto your lower back. See this flat sensation now? Try to keep that. So push down through your shin and lift your right leg up. Nice and straight. Pull those hips right back up into the center. Pushing the ground away, bring that arm forward. And again, can we reach out from the torso? Lengthen through the fingers. Pull the belly, the ribs up. Notice how you're starting to feel like you're rotating out to the side. Bringing that right hip rather towards the mat. Let's bring the hand and the knee back in again. Add a nice little sway, deep breath. So let's say this is really bothering your wrist. Now it's not as easy on your fist as it is in a flat hand because you get to push with all those fingers and everything. But if you're finding it's a bit much, bring your fist up. Make sure it's nice and straight because we're going back to that first side again. So when you're ready, that left foot goes back. Hips are nice and square to the mat. Tailbone tucks in. Let's see about pushing down through our right shin. Lift and reach out, stretch it. Now again, we want to keep that hip towards the mat. Take another breath, reach further. Bird dog. Let's add an extra connect. So lift that foot up, reaching the arm back. See if it's available to get a hold of your foot. And we might just work right here. If you're interested, let that foot push into your hand and start to reach it up towards the sky. When you're ready, or time to, bring the heel down, bring the hand and the knee back into the ground, and just give your hips a little shake. Because as we kick that leg out, we did a nice good movement and strength for our lower back there. Now, as you're ready, come into your center. Shoulders are relaxed. Right leg goes back. Left arm goes forward. Hips are up. So now push the ground away, right? We don't want to fall into our chest. So we press as we rise and reach. And as if we have a tray on our back, we want to make sure, again, we're pulling those hips in so our back stays nice and level to the ground. How does it feel on that supported knee? Can we stay in that center? Deep breath. Wiggles are good as we find our balance and work from there. Let's see, can we reach? Reach back to that foot. Feel that movement through your shoulder. And here, push your mat away. Then see about lifting that leg. And it pushes into that arm just as much as it reaches to the sky. Deep breath, challenge, push, press, and attempt to control the release. We go in, we give it a gentle sway again, deep breath. Now let's go into our child's pose. I'm just going to give our arms a little break. So open up those knees, kiss those toes together, turn your palms open. Just kind of let them flutter out and open so your head can melt down into your space. Deep breath there. Encouraging your weight to shift back into those hips, grounding down through the lower back. And again, just opening up that space that tends to get really jammed together during our day. And feel your shoulders letting go. Feel that releasing into the ground. Lightly drawing the belly button in, and then start to shift the weight forward. Turning the hands down onto the mat and shoulder width apart. Let's prepare to get into our downward dog. So as our hands are grounded, our elbows are in just as always. Let's bring those knees in. When you are ready, curl your toes. Hold the belly button as you lift the knees and hips. Drop the head right in between hips. Try not to let it flutter all the way through. Then we bring that focus, that stretch down into our legs. Best part about it. If we keep drawing that rib cage, that sternum area together, keeping that rib cage kind of wrapping in, we're going to notice we get quite a bit of stretch up through the back and through the shoulders even. So now as we're grounding those heels down, we're soft into our knees. We might even be starting to challenge ourselves with a little bit of the toes curled up. Pull again the rib cage in. Deep breath. And let's go through that vinyasa flow. We're going to do a nice modified one to start. So we're going to shift forward into our plank. Shoulders straight above those wrists. Bring those legs back. And as you do, make sure they touch together. That way we can lower to our knees first. Tuck your tailbone, squeeze your tush. Look forward. Now squeeze the elbows and the shoulder blades as we lower down as controlled and as slow as we can. When you're here, keep your legs squeezing as you flatten your toes. Your tush still squeezing. So we're going to squeeze the shoulders in the back now as well, looking forward. Squeeze the shoulders onto your back. Because this in your low cobra, we're hoping to use strength, not as much press. So lift the hands if we're adding that. Squeeze your tush. Nice and slow lower. Let the hands place in again. Squeeze your elbows. So we're still kind of grabbing with those thighs as we come up. Elbows turn in, curl the toes. When you're ready, push those hips up again. Stretching down through those legs. And then just resetting the torso. Ribs, shoulders nice and wide. Feeling that press through those heels, tuck through your belly. This time, let's get up towards the top of the mat. So a nice slow walk. Taking that time. Working with our core. Let the body melt here. So again, we're going to bring our weight just slightly to the heels so that we feel a little bit of a lift through those back of our legs there. With the belly button tucked in, let's come up halfway. Squeeze those shoulders. We want to press away from the ground. Releasing down. So again, I was still pressing through those heels, lengthening. Now drop your knees until you can feel some of that stretch on the back of your legs relax. Then from there, push up. Press those hips forward. Keep those ribs in. Let's bring our hands down into the center. Feel the shoulders relax. Let the arms relax, maybe even helping the shoulders a little bit more there. When you're ready, relax your feet, but try to keep them here. So maybe just a little bit of a shift, just a little bit of connection. We're going to come into a nice crescent pose. So we're going to start with one arm. Bring your left hand into your side, and then again, push your hips forward, just so you feel like you're connecting a bit more with your belly. With that, press through our feet. Inhale, stretch your right arm out beside your ear. Let's look up. Then as you go, start to slide that hand down your leg and reaching over. Keeping our weight fairly equal into our feet. If it doesn't bother your neck, I want you to try to look up towards that elbow. With your inhale, reach back up tall, and then just let that arm root down. Again, just relax into the legs a little bit. If you're finding there's a lot of pressure there into your legs, kind of behind the knee area, you'll know that it's most likely as you're going into your crescent, you are really popping your knees back. So just something to think about. So we create that connection, thighs forward, ribs in and together. Then we root that right arm down. Inhale, the left arm stretches our sides, and then we press through those feet as we slide over, and then if available, we look up. We want to feel this connection, keeping those hips nice and equal. That way then we're working with just the sideways. Deep breath up and release. From there, let's take a nice step wide onto the mat. We're going to do a ragdoll before we go into the next variation. So root your feet. Inhale, stretch it out to the sky. Go really soft in your knees as you go down for the opposite elbows. Root your head. And maybe a bit of movement, of course. Take your time here. Let the arms start to melt down towards the toes. And then just like before, really drop the bumps so the weights to the heels. Let's go up with a big inhale up into that tall stance. Just again, a little connection at our thighs, our core. Lengthen and into that center. Now with our hands still here, lace them together and point your finger, but still cross your thumbs. Now from there, relax the shoulders down. Because remember, that's not where our length is going to come from. So we're going to give those palms a little push together, not forcing them to necessarily stay that way as we go up. Now again, as we go up, as much as we are looking for that height, We don't want to squeeze our head. So try to relax your shoulders down and extend from the torso, but without feeling like you're blowing out really bad. So again, can we keep that rib cage coming together in the center? Another good inhale, stretching out, lengthen from your sides, not your shoulders, and then push into those feet. Let's reach over. Now, thinking of that top arm still, it's going to push out just a little bit more, and now bring your cheek to the inside of that arm. Squeeze those inner thighs, draw up, relax your shoulders again, maybe a little tuck of that tailbone as we then go to the other side. Push, especially with that top arm, reach. How are those feet? Are they still supporting you nice and equal? Let's look up. Tuck that belly, stretch it up. And just those arms, let them root down. As always, we'll give the shoulders a nice gentle roll back. And then just like before, let's get your feet a little wider. Soften through your knees, okay? That's the most important part. Stretch it up and soften those knees as we go down. Ground and a little ragdoll. From there, again, just drop the bum a little more. Make sure you're inhaling as you reach up to the sky. And this time, just let those arms root down. How did it get there is wonderful as the shoulders go back. Let's bring those feet back in. We're going to go into a nice high lunge. So we're going to start with our foundation as always. So with our hips forward, just like our feet, nice and centered. We're going to bring that weight to the left foot. When you're ready, lift your right leg and bring it back onto your mat. Quite far. Now go up onto those toes. Don't go halfway. Get up nice and high on those toes. Then our front knee, is it on top of our ankle? We should be able to see our toes there. With our hips towards the front of the room, especially that right one. That's the one that's going to want to keep pulling back. So we're going to draw it to the front. Then just like always, we're going to tuck that tailbone so we get that hip pulled in. Oh, now we're really feeling that hip flexor on that back hip area. So with our belly drawn in, let's bring those arms up. Push through your back heel and pull that hip forward at the same time. Deep breath. Now noticing that we're pushing down through the heel of the front foot, and our weight on our back foot is a little more on our big toe than our baby toe. Pull those hips in, deep breath, stretch out through your side. Now we're going to add a little twist. Bring your right hand down to your knee, lean forward to get there. And then as that left arm draws back, we're just going to open the chest with it. Now again, the awareness is kind of how does it feel on our back foot? Did we rotate that heel to the baby toe? Can we come up on our big toe a little more? Oh, pull that hip forward and let the arm relax. Look forward. Push off your knee. Bring your back leg up. Excellent. So we really feel how that worked our leg there. Let's shake it out. Again, relax out the shoulders a little bit. Let's go to the other side. So we ground down, such an important part. So as you get that connection to there, with that core, let's take a big step back. You can always wiggle it back once you're there. I recommend to not be really low with the heel. You want to be up nice and high. This way we get this inner thigh lift sensation. Front knees on top, that hips forward, even though that heel is trying to push us backward. Then the belly tucks in. Squeeze into the tush a little bit, pushing through our heel. Let's add side stretch up. Lengthen. So where is that weight again? Can we feel it on that back toe? Just a little more on the big one. Pull that hip in, pull that belly in. Stretch up a little more through that core. Then let's go with it. The opposite hand goes to the knee. Lean forward and touch. Then as that right arm goes behind you, open the chest to follow it. Deep breath. Pushing through that back leg. Still, can we feel it on the big toe? Pressing through, deep breath. Push. Squeeze. Then as you're ready, look, relax the arm. Go back into that nice tall. Guys, use your hands, push up. Shake it out. This should be good strength stretch work in those legs. So it should feel nice and challenging, but yet good length coming from it. We're gonna take it a little further. Let's root down. Ground in. Hips are forward, feet are forward, lift. Let's take that right leg back again. So we're going to the first side again. Reach back. Check. Safe. Hips. Weights on the big toe. Tuck the belly, tailbone. Let's do it again. Deep breath. Reach those arms up. Push through that front heel. Press off through the back leg. Stretch more. Now, if you're interested, we're going to see about bringing the elbow to the knee instead of just the hand. So bring the elbow. Bring your hands together on your way. Down. See about pushing that open as we look through the back arm again. So as we're pressing on through, how's the weight on the back foot? Can we rotate it in a little? Squeeze, deep breath. Shoulders are trying to relax, chest is trying to open. And then I recommend looking and then turning the body. Push up that knee again. Ooh, come on up, deep breath. Let's ground it in. As you are ready, feel that root. From there, lift. Let's stretch it back again. Okay. Hips are nice and square. Tailbone is tucked. Pushing strong through that leg. The front one as well. Keep that heel rotating in. Deep breath. Up. Pull the core. Let's see if we got it. And forward. Elbow to the outside of that knee. Then push. Press through that back leg. Rooting through the front leg. Deep breath. Open up the chest. Try to relax those shoulders. And from there, try to look forward. Then shifting up. And let that go. Deep breath. Grounding through our feet. Feel the energy. It's challenging. It's good to have that little fire there. Let's stretch that up to the sky. Exhale. Push your weight through your heels and your hips. Fold. Let the head drop all the way. With the belly with you, come on up halfway. Squeeze the shoulders. Nice and slow lower. With the hands under the shoulders, let's find your way into our plank. Once you've reached out into your plank, lower down to your knees. No flow, just shift back onto the knees. Cross your feet, sweep them out to the side, whatever gets you back to your bum. Bring your legs forward. Let's do that. Once you are ready, we're going to bring those legs. We're just going to give ourselves a little crisscross. From here, bring your your foot underneath the one in front and bring it up on top of the opposite knee. Flex the foot. Then, just try to sit forward and see about letting that knee lower down. Just a nice soft variation of fire and love. So we're basically, that foot's a little tucked in. Our other leg came up on top and we're thinking about lowering the knee. Of course, we're feeling that hip. Now if that heel's in the way, you kind of scoot it out. And release. Let whatever leg you were working with there down, shake it away. And you're just basically going to switch. So bring that leg just slightly under. Knees kind of off to the side, just a touch. I'm not going too deep into it. Root to the hips. Let's see. Flex the foot, bring it across. Sometimes it stays way up here. It's okay. We're breathing. Maybe see if it'll lower a little by leaning forward. Deep breath. And again, lean back. Usually makes it a little bit easier to then release it away. Once you are ready, let both of those legs have a little sway. And then let's root down. Shift your weight up forward onto your mat, just that way you lower down. You're on the mat. Right away, let's stretch out the leg. The other leg, of course, to follow, maybe as wide as your mat, maybe even wider. Let the shoulders tuck under. Let the heels and the feet relax. Back and the shoulders, really just grounding down. Deep breath, close your eyes. Let the fingers and the toes. I'll swipe ahead. Maybe you'd like to roll the wrists a little bit. Just feel gentle movement that's going to wake you up, but yet keep you nice and still within. Draw one arm up by the ear, and then take your time. Roll onto the sides. Again, encouraging yourself to take at least one breath. And back to your seat again as you choose. Just like we began, we open our palms, we exchange our energy. We're part of it. Drawing your hands onto your knees, feel your shoulders, still relax that. And with some grounding, remember that during good times, take it all in. See it all, be it with it all, love it all. And remember, so that way when we have those harder times, we can draw from the energy of the good times. And it's easier to remember that bad times don't last. Bring your hands to your center. Thank you for sharing energy with